Hey there, friends. So today we're going to clean up the old Miata. Poor thing's all dirty from the winter. And I've also decided to attempt the fender fix, cleaning the crud out from inside the fenders. Never done it before, so we're going to give it a rip. Let's see how it works out. So here she is, a 1994 Mazda Miata. Doesn't look too terrible. A little bit dirty. We'll walk in, you'll see that I've parked her, and I've turned the wheels all the way, because as I understand this fix, my goal is to get into that plastic liner between it and the fender, and I don't really feel like jacking the car up as I don't have all the stuff. I'm just a weekend guy that isn't used to working on cars at all. So let's see what we can do. I think what I'm going to do is take out this bolt, and that screw, and that bolt. And what I've read is these bolts use a 10mm wrench. So I'm going to get on that right now. So I would imagine that just about every middle-aged guy at one time or another has purchased one of these handy-dandy briefcase kits, or kit with everything in it. Everything's pretty crappy, but it works for the occasional repair. So what I'm going to do is pull a 10-meter wrench, which looks like that. We'll see how this dude does. Well, that's why these things are so wonderful. 10mm didn't even come close. It was too big. So as I tried different things, what I found was this one's perfect, and this says Taiwan 5/16. So it's a 5/16 inch socket that you got to use. So what I've done is I've taken the nut driver screwdriver-like attachment. I put the socket on it. I'm putting it on here, and it's turning, which is good news. I've been worried about rust. I'm going to go down and do the lower one. That was a little stiffer, but it's turning. So give me a minute, and I'll undo them both, and then we'll see the results. So as it turns out, after the bottom one came out and the top one came out, there's a little plastic Phillips head slotted thing that needs to come out as well. So I'll take my Phillips head. Unfortunately, this one is screwing out as well, and we'll just see how this turns out. Okay, so here's where it gets interesting. So underneath, right over here, there's a screw that's got to come out, and that one might as well. I'm just making a video, Ben. So I'm going to use the same nut driver to try and take that out. Okay, well, after a little tugging and pulling, I managed to pull this thing away. That screw right there never would come out. Plastic crap. But anyhow, so pulling away, there's all kinds of crud stuck in little places, so I used my fingers to get it out. And then down here there was a lot of crud, and I actually used an old toothbrush, there it is, old toothbrush, to get out some of the crud. And then anyhow, after a fair amount of fighting and pulling and tugging, here's the amount of crud that I was able to remove from one fender well of my beloved Miata. Because I'm driving an indoor car, or indoor garage car most of the time, it's dry, so that's good, so I don't have any rust in there. If you park your car outside, God only knows what you've got inside your car. But this is after 15 years of daily driving, so I'm not too depressed about this. So I'm going to button it up, and then I'm going to go after the other one. Well, if you're like me, reassembly can be just as difficult as disassembly. In fact, frequently, often more difficult. And that's Alison Krauss in the background, by the way. So, and Union Station Band. So anyhow, I'm going to zoom in kind of sideways here so my camera fits. And this dude does indeed line up. This little doobie hangs down. That's the first one I'm going to put in, and then I'll get the other guys on the interior. Well, there she is, side one, buttoned up tight as a drum. Came out great. So now I'm going to pull the car back, turn the wheels the other way, and go after side number 2. So, by the way, some people wrote that they found interesting things inside their fender walls. I've got some sort of rubber plug that someone handily left in there. If any of you know what this plug's for, email me and I'll put it back. But I don't think it needs to go back where it was. And now, as they say in the shampoo world, we're going to lather, rinse, repeat on the passenger side of my little girl. So there we are, all ready to rock and roll, and I'll get to it. So one thing I should mention, this little plastic screw right there, when it comes out, that round thing that holds it in pulls out as well, and you just stuff it back in. You'll figure it out when you pull it out. And here's the pile of crud that I got from the right side, passenger side wheel well. Pretty impressive. So, how would I rate this one? If filling up your tank of gas is 5 stars in terms of easy, and tearing apart an engine and rebuilding it is a 1, I would call this a 4. No skin knuckles. I did get some grease under my fingers on the second wheel well. I don't know what was greased in there, but it got on my hands, so I had to wash them off. But no skin knuckles, no opportunity to break anything beyond repair. It required a toothbrush, Phillips head screwdriver. I used a stubby one, and a 5/16" socket wrench. About 30 minutes. Well worth doing. I probably won't wait 15 more years to do it again. Since I keep my car garaged most of the time, I would say I should probably do this every 3 or 4 years. Hope you liked it. And there she is.